Hey guys, Colby here. Welcome back to another video. This one, you gotta stick through it because if you're looking for tips in beating the champion training tournament that will be starting in about 2 days to get Negrigante the Archer, then this video is for you. Also, if you're looking for, maybe some guidance whether you can complete it or not, then again, this video is for you. So you gotta stick through with it. Is she worth it though to compete against 100 other players? That is very, very much up to you guys. The biggest resource actually that you will need for this one is not really gonna be maybe the chickens you have, the brews you have, even the skill books you have. It's gonna be time. These tournaments go for about 4 days and they will require a lot of your time. Going over the weekend easily, okay? It starts on a Thursday, so maybe you'll be missing 1 day because of work, because people have to go to work. But then the weekend, you'll have to basically devote the whole of your days in order to pick up this champion if you are really going for it, if you're really planning to compete. This is not going to be an easy ride. I'm just warning you guys. This will not be an easy ride. I've won these tournaments before. I've lost this tournament before. And losing them definitely hurts. More so than the enjoyment of winning them. The enjoyment for winning them is just, okay, I get the new champion. What next? All right. But losing them, you're basically wasting all of those resources in just leveling up champions. You're leveling up champions which you might not really need at that point in time, and using up resources that you might not want to be wasting. Okay, it's a competition, and the competition in the end is all about money. But let's get started. Is she worth it? She is top rated for the Hydra. Yes, I do agree with that. Is she worth it for other areas? You gotta see your account. You gotta see, okay, do I need a hero that can actually place the hex on all enemies and provoke? Do I need that for progression? Am I stuck somewhere where having a provoke for 2 turns will be that impactful for my account? If that answer to you is yes, then this is, a consideration to have it. Obviously, her main role for people going for her will be as a champion used for the Hydra and getting higher damage for the Hydra. Remember though, who is the top damage dealer in the Hydra right now? It's not the Archer, it's Trunda. Trunda is the one getting to the leaderboards. If you have a Trunda already, you can try and build a team that can even do some damage on normal, and that will allow you to get top rewards and push with your clan for the Hydra Clash tournaments. If you're somebody though that is looking still to push to get into Nightmare, Trunda will not help you so much for the Hydra, but the Archer might help you push through and get into for doing Nightmare. But it's not the one champion, really. You need 6 champions for that. So it's a lot of things that you have to consider on whether she's worth it. Don't just go for her because she's a limited type champion. There's many limited type champions and even non-limited ones I still don't have. I don't even have some of the epics that are available in this game just because it's all random when we're opening up the shards. Okay, let's go with some tips that I have for players out there going for these sort of champion training tournaments. Let's get started. First things first, you're gonna need lots of resources. Not talking about silver. Silver is the only thing you don't really need about this one. You'll need about 10 million to get started because you'll be feeding lots of brews and champions, and that takes up some silver, but you'll get that back from just farming the campaign. So tip number one, do you have resources saved? Okay, I'm talking brews, I'm talking chickens, and I'm talking skill books. Remember guys, they have recently changed it. Well, actually not so recent, about a year ago, maybe more, can't remember. There was a patch where they added the opportunity for you guys to get points in champion training with skill books. Okay, do you have enough skill books to snipe out somebody who also has lots of skill books and at the last half hour decides to start doing this, okay, and just clicking upgrade and just go crazy over the champion training leaderboard? That can totally give him 20, 30, 40, 50,000 points in the last hour if the person is a whale. And there's definitely whales in this game. It's one thing's for certain, it's gonna be whales. Okay, do you have enough skill books? Do you have enough chickens? Chickens, actually, you'll be surprised, but these do not matter that much in terms of account not like, well, champion training progression and getting the points needed. These do not matter that much. Yes, they will give me rank ups. I have lots of chickens because I'm a content creator, but these, a whale might be buying these just on accident and doesn't really care about this, and will have the same or even more of these, or even the what are these called, the feasts, okay? And he just has them in storage ready to go if a whale is going to go for this champion training tournament. So the chickens don't matter that much. They only give you that instant rank up to the leveled up already hero. Where you really get the points is from here, from champion training and upgrading the levels of your heroes. So tip number 1 is leveling up your heroes first. It's an obvious thing, but leveling up your heroes first, it's something that we've said multiple times before. Leveling up your heroes before you're feeding them gives you a big amount of points. And to make it easy for you guys, just think of it like this. If you have a 1-star or a 2-star, you can run them once on the campaign, okay? Just so 8 energy as an example. If you're running brutal campaign, 8 energy for them before you feed them. If you've got a 3-star, you can run them 2 times. If you got a 4-star, 3 times you run them on the campaign. If you got a 5-star, I believe that's let me see, 5-star, it's even more. It's 12 runs that you have to do. But if you're looking at maybe, okay, I want to brew them instead of using my energy. If you want to do that and use brews, remember that the brews will cost you some silver, all right? And the brews are limited, so don't go crazy with them, and I'll explain why in a bit. So you can use 1 brew on the 1-star, on the 2-star, on the 3-star even, but on the 4-star, okay, and then the 3-star you can use 2 actually. On the 4-star you use 4 brews, and then on the 5-star you can use 5 brews, and on the 6 stars, because you get points from there, you use a little bit more. You can use up to 12 brews when you're going for that. Another tip for when using up your brews, if you want to be as efficient as possible, all right, if you want to be as efficient as possible with your brews, if you, let's say you want to level up some stuff quickly, maybe you feel like you want to do this for whatever reason, it depends on the amount of brews you guys have, right? You might do this, okay? This is 5 brews, but have a look at this. So every 1 brew gives you 12.5, I believe, or is it 18.75? I thought it was 12.5. I think it's 12.5. Yeah, when it's at the wrong affinity. Yeah. So it's 18.75 thousand XP, okay, for 1 brew. When you take a hero to max, you're using this system right here. This is not efficient, because if I click on it once and I go down, you see how little XP I use. So 6,000 XP basically here needed to get me to level 20, and the game wants me to use the brew there. So that's 1 brew basically lost because of this, because I wanted to be fast and click on max. What you can do is this, and then you use 1-star champions for the remaining XP, and you fill that up like that. You use 1-star champions that you might have leveled up already to get that small bit of points. But this is like a big tip that I can give to you guys if you are trying to beat the tournament, if you are trying to compete in there, okay? Another tip, as I said, is the skill books. You want to save those for last, and using up skill books will give you lots of points, but use the according skill books to the champion, okay? So if you have a legendary, use legendary skill books. If you have epic, use the epic skill books. Do not go and use legendary skill books on rares or epics. It's not going to give you the same amount of points. Or even mythical books, please do not use those. Just use them on mythicals. It's not worth it. These are very hard to get. And then finally, a big tip is make sure you have a nightmare campaign farmer. I'll probably do a dedicated video for this one, but this is like my tip number 1. Nightmare campaign farmer is by far the the quickest way for you to be getting the points. A brutal run at 12-3 can take 5 to 6 seconds with many different champions in the game. Many different champions. There's so many that can do it. It's pointless really to refer about it. But Nightmare campaign 12-6 can give you double the amount of XP in the same time if you have a proper Nightmare campaign farmer. And that takes a lot of resources to build. These campaign farmers are not easy to build, especially for 5 seconds. You can have it maybe up to 11 or 12 seconds if you want to be as efficient as on brutal. But if it's something that might not happen, right? If it's something that it might be 12 seconds, it might be 18, you gotta drop Nightmare and go back to brutal. But if you're somebody who's looking for quick points, Nightmare campaign farming is where it's at. It's not as efficient for silver. For the XP is a bit efficient, not so much when you're almost at the max level for each one of these. So have that in mind. It's not so efficient. But again, when you're trying to get a ton of points quickly, you're gonna lose efficiency left and right. So have that in mind. So how does my ethos look as an example here? Let me just show you. I might as well use these champions that I had in there as well. Use some of the energy. But this is how the run should look for you when you're trying to build a Nightmare campaign 5-second farmer. Okay, and you saw how slow that is. That is because one of the things didn't happen. It was 9 seconds. It's still faster than the brutal, but it's because he didn't get this proc right here, which is the let me show you. It's basically the mastery. All right, it's the mastery that he has, which is this one called Cycle of Violence. 30% chance to decrease the cooldown of a random skill by 1 turn if the damage inflicted exceeds 30% of the target's max HP. So you want that to happen basically at least once on your AoE. If that happens, the run will be 5 seconds. If that does not happen, you see him rushing through and has to hit with the A1, which happened there, which then he got the proc. Okay, 9 seconds. This is not making me look good for the video. Come on, Ethos. Do it. He didn't get it again. I can't believe it. It's a 30% chance, guys. Every champion he hits, and it just doesn't. It procs after it happens. But this is what you need to have. You need to have a consistent one. He's gonna do it now. You need to have a consistent champion to do it at 5 or 6 seconds. It also depends on the champion you have running alongside him for it to be a 5-second run. It's not always gonna be 5 seconds because of how slow, literally slow to walk the other champions will be. If he was solo, he would probably do it at 5 seconds. So he got it there. Oh, what happened there? 5, 6, and got it there. 7 seconds, but he was on his own, and something happened there on the second round. He didn't kill the Chimera because of the damage. I guess my damage is not enough still, which is crazy because have a look at the stats that I have on my Nightmare farmer, which is insane to consider that sometimes he does not kill Chimera. Where is he? Where is he? There he is. Okay, there's Ethos. All right, yeah. Let me show you guys the stats. I have 8,300 attack, 300% crit damage, and 100% crit rate. The crit rate I have to fix because of ascensions that I got very recently, but he's got 300% crit damage. And he's still not one-shotting always blindly that Chimera. And he also has this, the Crushing Rend, which ignores a little bit of the defense on enemies on the first hit, which is what I care about for campaign farming. So what I will be doing is I'll be doing Nightmare if I'm gonna do this tournament. I still haven't decided. And let me show you guys one thing that I do have and other players may also have. You know, you might not think this is possible, but lots of players and myself, I have been doing this since whenever I'm competing in these sort of tournaments. Just have a look from here, from this row here. You see all these champions, they are 5 stars. And then we go down, all of these are 5 stars ready to go for points, for quick points, very quick points. Remember how I told you, you use some brews on them, and with that you get them to a certain level based on the brews that you'll use, and that will allow you to get a big amount of points quickly. From what I've measured before there, I think how many 5, is there a way to search how many 5 stars I have? I don't think so. Let me just click on it like so. So if we count the rows, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, nine and a half rows of 5 stars, which is what, 9, I think 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 champions per row. That's about what, 80, 85. Maybe I have some in my vault as well. I've got lots of legendaries that I have not leveled up as well on the vault. I do believe, yeah, lots of legendaries. So let's say I have 100 5 stars ready to go for quick points. This is not a just me case, okay? Just cold brew as a content creator or and whoever other content creator. This will happen for many accounts out there who are ready to go. Like, talk with your clanmates if you don't believe me. Some of them might have this already, you know, saved up for a champion trading tournament that would have made them say, okay, I'm gonna go for this one, and they'll go for this one. Me personally, I still haven't decided if the archer is the one that I should go for, since honestly, she's just gonna maybe change one of my teams on the Hydra to make it more friendly for auto, but is she really gonna give me that big damage that I'm looking for? Not really. You know, I would love if there was a Crazy, I wouldn't even be talking about it. I would go for it, but I have one Crazy already. I would love to get another one because she is a Hydra beast in terms of damage, but utility not so much. The archer is more so about utility rather than straight up damage that a Crazy has, but I'm just giving an example here. So closing it off, is this fair that they're doing this instead of a champion acquisition kind of tournament, or a thing where we would have it as a guaranteed? Is this fair? No. Will this make them more money? I honestly don't think so. I honestly don't think it's gonna make them more money, which is kind of dumb on their part, but if they're doing it, they must have something in mind. Why am I saying this? I think when we had, let's say, the Alatrion guaranteed, a lot of people went for the 70,000 points and they used up lots of their resources and some of their money also to get it. And they had multiple, I believe, more people than rather 1 out of 100. Because in most cases, the champion training tournament, it will be maybe 5 people competing the first day, maybe 3 competing the second day, and maybe the top 3 are competing for the following 3 days. It's gonna be, let's say, 4 days total. You're gonna have big competition maybe the first day, but it all depends on their willingness of people to go heavy and how much time they have available. Because Plarium doesn't understand that if you're pushing people for time and they don't want to just see, okay, I have to do 50,000 points now to reach first. The first guy is already there. Should I do it? No. Screw it. I'm not going to go for it. She's not going to change anything in my account. But if they had something like a guaranteed, I believe more players would have gone for it. And I think it would have been more well received by the community, by you guys. By me as well. Probably would have done it if it was a champion training event. But now that it's a tournament, I'm on the edge and I have lots of resources. I showed you guys I have lots of resources. Not so many gems, but I have stuff. If I want to try and compete, it's gonna be difficult. It's not guaranteed that I'll get it, but there's a ton of whales in this game. The only thing that you guys maybe for this tournament have in hopes for is that the whales already got her from the events that we had in the past months since the Monster Hunter started. So if they did get her, they'll be competing against each other for the soul, right? But again, how many people have her? I think the only way we can maybe test this is if I click on her, we see the reviews. She's got 742 reviews. That's actually a lot. 742 reviews for a new champion. So she's got 740 reviews. Like if I see Fatalis, he's got half of those reviews, maybe 466. He has all red reviews. Why is there no search function here? There's Alatrion, yeah. He has 430 reviews. Not so bad as the other guy, but I think this is way generous. Way more generous than it should be. And Zinogre, a champion we all got, basically. Well, not all, but the people who finished the event got it. She's got 400 reviews, so even less. I think the people who go and review champions are people who are very excited about the champion they just got. But you compare an event that everybody got, to a champion that was only available through summons, and there was 740 reviews. So, and you can only rate it if you have it. So there's gonna be lots of people in the different tournaments. It just makes you wonder on if they're still gonna be split in maybe a fair way. I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be 2 more days until that pops up. It's gonna be on Thursday that champion training pops up. These are my tips, guys, and all. I hope you stuck through with the video. I hope you found it helpful. Let me know down below on your thoughts. I will do a community poll just to see on the community's reaction whether they're gonna go or not for the champion training. And maybe you can see that also, and then maybe think of yourself, okay, should I go for it? Should I not? And you can also give your thoughts there also. Yeah, this was the video, guys. Thank you all. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.